Greetings, this is Cliff Ruby, Nostalgia Catholic, with yet another Isaac Asimov short story review. This one was published on the pages of Satellite, October 1956 edition. And this story is titled The Watery Place. Watery Place, Isaac Asimov, page 86. So, page 86, as you can see, Asimov's name is on the cover, but the artwork pertains to another story. Alright, now let's look at page 86. We find, sad to say, no artwork, small blurb. And a little drawing of some sort of space thing. That probably isn't specifically pertinent to the story, but just has a kind of, outer space theme. Although in a way, the story is about the idea that we lose any access to outer space. So, let's look at the blurb. Okay, the Watery Place, as the blurb says, they came from Venus to befriend Earth, but they should not have landed April 14, by Isaac Asimov. Okay, we'll see. In fact, it's actually pretty good. So, in a nutshell, flying saucer lands in some outback of Idaho somewhere. You have the name of the town. It was like Twin Gulch, Idaho. Yeah, that's the high fashion center of the world. Forget New York City. It's Twin Gulch, Idaho. That's where things are happening. Namely, this is where the aliens land their flying saucer, but they put on human language and more or less human clothing, human form to their, what forms they normally have as their native forms. And they knock on the door where the sheriff is busily preparing his taxes, having waited apparently to the last couple of days to do it. And he doesn't farm that out to anybody, and it's a fairly complicated thing. So, he's frantically doing that. He's kind of wrapped up in what he's doing. I guess actually things are kind of slow in Twin Gulch, Idaho. So he can probably afford to, well, not quite take the day off, but unless some, police emergency surfaces, he's going to be in his office actually working his taxes. A reasonable activity. He's going to be unusually difficult and not easily distracted from that. So the flying saucermen knock on the door. Now, the deputy is kind of watching all. The deputy saw the flying saucer land, saw the people get out, and knows all this stuff, but he doesn't have a chance to say anything. They knock on the door, he lets them in, and he thinks that they're talking about, well, we'd like you to join our organization. And what? We're in the United States, we're even a member of the United Nations. What is your organization? Well, I can tell you're foreigners. Well, we've come from Venus. Yes. The Watery Place. Historical note. This story was written back when it was still thought that all those clouds around Venus were water clouds, and there was probably oceans of Venus. Hence the story Oceans of Venus that Asimov would also have written by this time. So, Watery Place, Venus, yeah. But it gets to the end. The sheriff basically tells them to leave, dismisses them as some kind of weird foreigners. He doesn't really care where they're from. And the result is that don't leave, don't come back. We don't want you here. Just go away, leave us alone. Which really is leave me alone to do my taxes. But they get the idea. Okay, we're not wanted here. We're not going to impose ourselves. So they leave. They never come back. They wrap something around the planet to make sure that, we of Earth won't get anywhere else. And they won't ever get in and we won't get out. All because of the sheriff having misunderstood who and what they are. The whole thing turns on a rather silly pun, however. I will not spoil that pun, so you want to read the story. The story is found in Earth is Room Enough. And it also has the Watery plate. And aside from one small grammatical fix, it really is a fix, the texts are identical. So let's see if I found it one here. Let's see if I can find it here. What's the hand? Finally had last round. Message space. Watery place. Okay. Now, in the original, okay, they're asking for the president and Congress and the Supreme Court and everybody, get all these people here. We got an important message for them. You know, and they say, yeah, we want you to join our organization. And then, oh yeah, anything else you want? oh yeah, sure. He's not going to give them anything, not while he's frantically doing his taxes. So, we have a paragraph that begins like this. It reads like this. Slowly, Cameron, it's the sheriff's name, got red. Our people join your organization? We're already part of the UN and God knows what else. And I suppose I'm to get the president here, eh? Right now? In Twin Gulch? Send a hurry-up message? So far it's the same. Okay, then he looked at me, his deputy, as though he wanted to see a smile on my face. But I couldn't haven't fallen down if someone had pushed the chair out from under me. I couldn't haven't. I'll show you the text in a moment. So, okay, in the book it changes to, he looked at me as though he wanted to see a smile on my face, but I couldn't as much as fall down if someone had pushed the chair out from under me. Yeah, that makes more sense. The other one, I don't know if that's an expression, some bizarre typographical error, but I just kind of thought it would be interesting to see that. That would be, there we go. But I couldn't haven't fallen down. Couldn't haven't fallen down. Yeah, that needed to be fixed. Other than that, so far as I can tell, the texts appear to be identical, and it's, so it's a cute little story. And like I said, you can read it in Earth is Room Enough, and it all turns on a rather silly pun, but it's a good one. It's suitably funny, especially if you could appreciate the fact that in those days Venus was thought to be a watery place, the planet Venus, that is, which is where our guests came from. And that's what I have for that story. Thanks for listening.